Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Speedrun the Wind Waker. In this section we're going to do a few things, nothing too special. We're just going to get the sail, go to Dragon Roost and make our way to the first dungeon. There's not really a lot to say here, you know, just avoid talking to people on the island obviously. We already have enough rupees for the sail, so there's no need to worry about getting any extra. Just follow this route up to the salesman. This text is all really fast, so you can just cycle through it real quick. And now we have the sail. After you're done here, you want to just roll up these stairs and just jump off the ledge. This is the quickest way back to the boat. So we're going to equip the sail. You can put it on whichever button you prefer. Most people prefer to have it on X or Z. I actually prefer to have it on Y, and you'll see like why your preference is actually relevant when we actually get in the boat. So we're not simply going to pull the sail out and just leave them. We're actually going to do this. This is called sail pumping. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling out the sail and putting it away rapidly, but with a certain rhythm. The rhythm is done so that, as you can see here, the boat gets a little boost. I don't know if you can see that, I hope you can, because it's kind of important. The boat gets a little boost whenever I pull the sail out, and the idea is that I'm going to put the sail away right after I get that and pull it out again. This way I'm basically sailing the entire distance with the speed of the boost, instead of just the regular speed, which is this. As you can see, this is a good deal faster. It saves roughly 7 seconds per quadrant, which adds up quite a lot throughout the course of the run. Now, I mentioned that your preference for the button for the sail is relevant here. It just basically it's because you're going to have to do this a lot, and you know, sometimes it might be more comfortable to have it on a certain button. The Z button is usually harder to press, but some people prefer it to be on there just because of its placement on the controller. I prefer to have it on Y, but I'm kind of holding the controller in a weird way right now. I'm pressing Y with my index finger and A with my thumb, which I understand could be kind of awkward for some people. So you should just find out what's best for you. But yeah, once you get the rhythm down, it's best to like look at it from the side, by the way, to make sure you're getting the boost, to figure out the rhythm. Once you have it down, just do that whenever you're in the boat. And that's really helpful, especially if you're sailing in a direction where the wind isn't completely in your favour. It won't make him go full speed if the wind isn't in your favour, but it will be a lot quicker than just sailing normally. So we're at Dragon Roost here. We're going to get the Wind Waker. This item has a lot of uses in this run. Most of them don't actually involve playing a song. In fact, that's one of the main reasons I'm restarting this series, because there's a new trick related to the Wind Waker called dry storage that I mentioned in an earlier video, which lets us do a lot of cool things, and we'll see the first use of that in the first dungeon. So we're just following along with the tutorial for now. There's not a lot going on right now. Everything's kind of standard, there's just a bunch of cutscenes we have to sit through. Thank God he doesn't make you learn the 6-4 as well. So you can get the song for this after the dungeon, but it's quicker to get it before, especially when we see what we're going to do after the dungeon. So as soon as this text goes away, we're just going to go here, through here. Just equip the Wind Waker. And yeah, this is the wind changing song, which we're going to use a lot. Something you can actually do when he's playing a song in 3-4 is if you hold up or down on the analog stick, it'll change the pitch of what you're playing. The reason that works is, obviously if you hold left or right it changes like the time signature, but if you hold up or down it doesn't change the time signature, but Link still moves his hand, and if you hold up he moves it up and the notes are a lot louder, and if you hold down they're a lot quieter, and That was something that I only figured out recently, and I usually do that when I'm speedrunning this game now, just as a little cool thing to do when waiting for the song to play. Yeah, he's talking about Cyclos right now. In the old version of the run, we had to rely on his luck at one point. There was one point where you would like sail into the cyclone and just pray that he sent you to Outset Island. Fortunately, we've gotten rid of that. Yeah, that reminds me actually, in the first video of this series, the new version of the series I mean, I mentioned that I wasn't going to do super swims, but I'm actually probably going to do them. I think they're not as bad as I made them out to be. For now though, we're going to do a trick to get up here without going through all of this crap over here. What you want to do is get on the rock and get Link inside this little circle here. You can see it, like his feet are both inside it right now. When he's done that, just turn the camera around so that the left side of the red B button is touching the right side of this black line. Just doesn't have to be perfect, just anywhere around here. And just hold forward and roll, and he'll jump onto this ledge. You can actually do this without lining it up, obviously, and it's not really that hard, but it's kind of a pain at first. What I did there was I put the bomb down and I did a spin attack on it. This causes it to explode a little quicker. And I also faced the bomb and pulled my shield out, which means that I won't take damage and won't accidentally knock myself off the ledge, which I have done in the past before I started pulling the shield out. There's going to be a lot of text in this part of the video, so you know, I realise that it's going to be a little boring, but it's important that I show everything. How did I have 40 rupees? I don't remember getting 40. I know I got 20 from the... Oh yeah, it's because you get 100 from the chest. For some reason I thought you got 80 from it. Disregard that. Anyway, we're just rolling up here. Gonna go in here. And there's a really long cutscene here. This is one of the longest ones in the run, I think. Unfortunately. I probably won't say anything relevant during it, so you guys can probably skip to the end of it. But the point of this cutscene is simply to get the delivery bag, which has one use in the run. If we didn't... There's a trick later on which lets you skip the cabana date, which is that thing that you need to get inside the cabana on the private oasis, and it requires you to get like, I don't know, 21 joy pendants or something, and talk to the teacher on Windfall, and it's just a massive, stupid little side quest, and we actually skipped the entire thing using storage and a tricky hookshot angle inside the door. So that would have been another use for the delivery bag, because the cabana deed would go inside it, but yeah, because we skipped that, the only use for the delivery bag is the letter that Medley gives you to take to Kamali. And after that it's completely useless, so the spoils bag and the delivery bag are both pretty useless in this run. Yeah, unfortunately both are required. Well, that's not strictly true actually, you can skip getting this. In fact, the low percent run in this game, which is a run where the objective is to finish the game with as little items as you can, the low percent run skips this using some weird like zombie hover or whatever to get into the first dungeon without coming in here, but it's slower, it's quite difficult to do, and it's slower for any percent, which is what we're doing. I'm not too educated on that, to be honest. Probably not the person to ask, because I've never ran low percent. Alright, this guy's finally leaving. We're gonna get the delivery bag now. You guys can probably hear me mashing the text. It's probably really loud, because I have like the microphone volume a lot louder than the game audio, so you can hear my voice clearly, but I guess you can also hear everything else I'm doing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just go upstairs and go into the first room on the left. Make sure you don't talk to anyone on the way up. Just talk to Medley. Her text is really fast, so it's not a problem. She gives you the letter to give to Kamali. So now that we have this, we're just waiting for this slow text to finish. Okay, now that we have this, we're going to go back downstairs. The quickest way to do that is just to roll here and just let go of the analog stick during the roll so that he grabs the ledge, and just hold A until he falls off. So we'll put this on Z. I just put it there because it was the only free button. Actually, something I should point out, later on we're going to want to have the Wind Waker on a button which isn't Z. I've already taken care of that by putting it on X, but if you equipped it to Z earlier, then that's probably a bad idea. I mean, some people won't mind it there, but for most purposes that we're going to use the Wind Waker for in this run, other than playing songs, you're going to want it on either X or Y. I personally prefer it to be on X, and I'm talking of course about dry storage, and we'll get to that soon. Those stairs are kind of weird there. Sometimes when you roll into them you bonk on them, but I think it depends on when you start the roll. I had enough space to do it without bonking there. So we're down here, we're going to talk to Medley again. One difference between the English and the Japanese routes is, in this section, we would actually, in Japanese we would actually play a song here to change the direction of the wind to north. The reason we would do that is because, as you can see, like in the background, the wind is like constantly fluctuating. It goes east for a few seconds and it goes west for a few seconds or whatever. Well, on English, by the time Medley's done talking, you only have to wait a little while and it's already pointing north. But on Japanese, because you get through the text so quickly, it has like, it's like at the complete opposite side of the cycle and it takes forever to get north. So we actually changed the song. We changed the wind using the song to north. We can just throw her right away. That actually means that you can afford to like navigate this little outside area quite slowly on English, because there's a little bit of waiting time. But on Japanese you have to be quick. So anyway, you can pick her up now. Just stand on top of this rock and face the other side of the bridge. And we're just waiting for the wind to point north, and we're going to throw her. It's going to go west now, and it's going to go north. There we go. So she's going to give us the ball in a second. We're going to fill it with water. And after that, the next use that we have for the bottle isn't going to happen until the end of the second dungeon, where we're going to catch a fairy. Not for us, because we're speedrunners and we don't need fairies, but to gift to Grandma, because she's not a speedrunner, and she gives us soup in exchange for it, which we will use a lot. But for now, we're just going to equip this over Z, because again it's the blank button. Just going to go back up this thing. We're going to go and water the dead plant over here. Just make sure you don't throw that too late. I almost threw that too late there, but yeah, it's definitely better to be a little early than a little late there, because if it's too late then it explodes before it touches it. And usually if you're a bit early it just bounces around and still explodes the rock. Anyway, you'll notice that Link is standing right here. Even if you try to move away before that cutscene starts, he just walks back to that spot during it, so you know, there's no need to try and be a smart ass and move away. It won't do anything. Okay, so for this section what we're going to do is just do it normally really, just throw the bomb into the pot. And we're going to throw this bomb into the second pot. You can boost yourself across here with a bomb, but it's a little tricky. I wouldn't recommend it, and it saves maybe like a second or two max. So this is us in the first dungeon now, and that's going to be it for this video, because there's been a lot of cutscenes and I don't want to include this dungeon after all of that crap. But yeah, first dungeon. To those that have seen the previous version of this series, this dungeon is going to be a little different here. We're going to skip the boss key, and there's going to be a few other little time savers that weren't known back then, which make this dungeon really, really cool. It was pretty boring in the past, but it looks really nice now, especially at the end because of the dry storage boss key skip, but we'll cover that in the next video. Yeah, I'm going to try and make these videos a little more regular now, because I've been really busy lately. I've been trying to like improve my record time for this game on Japanese, and I haven't really bothered to make this video, mostly because it's so cutscene heavy. I just didn't feel like doing it. But the game's going to start picking up now, and like I said earlier in this video, I actually am going to do super swims. Originally I didn't plan on it because I thought they were too hard, but the truth is I've messed around with them a lot more now, and for the most part there are ways to do them consistently. It just takes a bit of practice, but if you want to run with like a respectable time, you're going to have to do super swims. That's just the bottom line. There's nothing we can do about it. So yeah, after this dungeon is done I'm going to show you guys how to do a super swim, and that's going to be cool. But for now we're just going to save the game because there's nothing else to do right now, and that's going to be the end of this video, and I'll put the next one up soon. Thanks for watching.